Hi, right now we are after the first weekend of Diablo 4 Early Access Open Beta. I would like to take an opportunity to share my first impressions, thoughts and some concerns regarding the game. This beta featured 3 of 5 classes: Barbarian, Rogue and Sorceress, with level cap set to 25. We were able to play through the whole first act of the game, explore dungeons and engage in some random activities scattered around the first region. On top of that, we got an opportunity to challenge first world boss, Ashava. In terms of main story, Diablo 4 doesn't try to be revolutionary. We get a classic introduction to a story about the fight between good and evil. First act presents the main antagonist Lilith and a threat that she presents to the world. Nothing groundbreaking, but still well written and quite engaging piece of narrative. When it comes to the world building and secondary missions, Diablo 4 is darker than its predecessor Diablo 3, and I think it's a good move from the side of creators. It allowed them to create vision of more intriguing and cohesive world. In terms of visuals, this game is less colorful and less flashy than Diablo 3. It applies to both explorational and fighting aspects of the game. Animations are slower and particle effects less intrusive. Overall, it looks solid, but to be honest, I was hoping for a little bit better graphical fidelity on PS5. Along with the graphical changes, there are also changes in combat mechanics. In general, it is slower than Diablo 3, which makes it feel more realistic and gives more weight to each hit. At the same time, it is still quite responsive and fluid. Breaking through the hordes of enemies in Diablo 4 is a true joy. Overall, I found this to be the strongest aspect of this game. In terms of controls and UI, Diablo 4 seems like a game designed with console players in mind. Navigation UI, moving character and fighting with gamepad seems pretty intuitive, with minor exceptions in terms of skills requiring more precision. Skill tree in Diablo 4 looks like a simplified version of one in Path of Exile, but similarities are mainly at the visual level. When it comes to distributing points, the system is very similar to Diablo 3. This seems like a well thought out decision on the part of game creators. This game is more approachable to casual players and doesn't have to compete directly with Path of Exiles for its player base. The only concern I have on this subject is that the skill progression system might be too simple to provide enough depth to make the game interesting in the long run. When it comes to itemization, the system seems okay, but finding legendary items in this beta was very simple, which made the whole process less exciting, and I'm afraid that in this case you will be able to fully gear your character in a few days after reaching max level. I hope that devs will find a way to give us a good reason to keep playing the game. This beta wasn't focused on endgame, but I think the first few dungeons and world boss might give us some pre-taste of what we can expect from the endgame experience. Dungeons available in the first region were well designed and it was fun to explore them. The only thing that wasn't so great in my opinion was the fact that every single dungeon followed the same pattern. Find X items to unlock the main boss area and kill that boss. Generally, that's okay, but I hope that future dungeons will introduce some variation to that pattern. Right now, after spending some time in Diablo 4, I can't tell if this game will dominate my gaming in second half of this year, but I think that I'm going to have a lot of fun after the game launch. And I will most definitely be coming back for the first few seasons.